The holiday season is upon us, and if you're like me, you're desperately trying to find the right gifts to give. You might be doing some swaps with your knitting friends, or you might just be looking for some interesting gift ideas to get for your fiber friends, or even keep yourself. Of course, there's always beautiful project bags, yarn bowls, and yarn, which make wonderful gifts. But if you're looking for something a little different, then stick around to see my suggestions for 10 knitting gifts that are all under $50. Hello everyone, and welcome back to U University. I'm Dr. Kelly. I know this is a shocker. 2 videos from me in a week. Well, we'll see how fast I can get this edited and put together and uploaded to YouTube. This coming week is finals, so my semester is pretty much winding down. Graduation is next weekend, and I'm going to be up on the podium again reading off the names of the graduates as they walk across the stage. And then we get a month off for a nice break before spring semester starts. So today I wanted to get a quick video out to tell you about some great gift ideas I have, all with a knitting or yarny theme. I have 10 products to tell you about, and as usual I'm going to start with the least expensive and end with the most expensive. But all of these are under $50, and I will put links to everything I talk about today in the description box below for your convenience. So let's go ahead and get started. My first yarny gift idea is this charming little Mousepad. It measures about 8 by 9 inches. The backing is foam rubber composite, which is a little cushiony but firm. Because the bottom is rubbery, it doesn't slip around on your desktop. As you can see, the fabric on top is printed with this sweet sheep graphic which says, "Have you any wool?" The fabric surface is slightly textured, providing good traction for your computer mouse and allowing for precise cursor measurements. These days you don't really need a mouse pad. You can use any surface really except glass, but I like to use them because I find that my mouse stays cleaner on the bottom. It doesn't collect all the dust like when I just use my desktop. Now I got this mouse pad on Etsy for $10. Another similar idea is to have a personalized mouse pad made. You can upload your own photo and have it put on the mouse pad at places like Vistaprint and Walgreens for around $10. And they're often having sales, so you can get them even less expensive. So yeah, a mouse pad with a yarn theme would be a fun gift to get. Okay, my second gift idea is this gorgeous watercolor print with a knitting theme. I just love this print. It is from an artist named Erin Kate Archer, who is in Brooklyn, New York. She has a number of beautiful knitting-related watercolor prints for sale in her Etsy shop. This one is called Knitted Sparkling Sea, and it's the ocean, but then it transitions into knit stitches and comes onto a pair of knitting needles. I like the idea of a knitted world, especially one with sparkles in it. Now these prints come in different sizes. This one is 8 by 10. It is printed on a very nice 110-pound watercolor cardstock paper, so it's nice and sturdy. It does not come framed. You'll have to get your own frame. I picked this one up at Target for under $20. It's a simple white frame with a white mat, and I feel like it really shows off the watercolor. So like I said, this print is 8 by 10, but you can get smaller and larger sizes. The 8 by 10 print was $17, and I thought that was a bargain. Including the frame, the total cost was something like $35. And that would be something very nice for yourself or to give a knitting friend. All right, the next item is a brand new knitting book that was recently released, and it is called The Knitter's Dictionary by Kate Atherley. When I saw that this was a new release, I thought it looked interesting, so I went ahead and ordered it just to see what it included. And it is literally a dictionary for knitting terms. I think this is a fabulous resource book that all knitters need. There is a little section about things like how to read yarn labels, yarn recommendations, and how much yarn to buy for a project. But the vast majority of the book is definitions of knitting terms. It includes definitions of types of yarn, different knitting tools, and a multitude of knitting techniques. If there's anything left out of this book, I don't know what it is. If you're reading through a pattern and come across an abbreviation like SK2P and you don't know what that is, it's in the book. M1PL, it's in the book. How to read a chart, it's in the book. Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind-off, it's in the book. Everything is in alphabetical order from A to Z with definitions, brief tutorials, and illustrations, all in 126 pages. So this is super handy and would be a perfect gift for any knitter, and something they're not likely to have since it just came out earlier this fall. The regular price is $20, but you can get it on Amazon for under $14, and I highly recommend it. My next gift idea, which is number 4, is this stretchy headband with a cute yarn print on it. It is made out of performance fabric that is 85% eco-poly and 15% spandex, so it's very elastic. There is plenty of fabric here to cover your head, or you can fold it to make it a thinner headband. It's great to use anytime you want to keep your hair out of your face, when you're working out, when you're washing your face, or just as a knitting fashion statement when you're out and about. It's a UV resistant fabric, so it helps protect your skin from exposure to ultraviolet light. The printed graphic on the fabric comes in several different colors. Besides this one, they had a green one and a purple one. It's fade proof and color fast as well, so you don't have to worry about the colors bleeding. And it's easy care. You just pop it into the washing machine and tumble dry. You can get this Yarny Headband for $20 from Creative Gypsy on Etsy. Now they're in Canada, and I have to say their shipping was not the fastest. According to their Etsy policies, orders take at least a week to ship, sometimes 2. So if you want to get this for Christmas, I would definitely order it right away. But yeah, it is something fun and vibrant to give to your fiber friends. Okay, this next item is perfect for someone who loves gadgets or loves to try new things. This is the Winderful, which is a yarn winding system that takes place of a ball winder. It consists of a winding sleeve and a spool that you use along with any electric drill or screwdriver. The winding sleeve is a small diameter plastic pipe with the end of a screw bit attached to one end. So this end inserts right into your screwdriver or drill, and then you just tighten the chuck to hold the sleeve on the drill. And then you just slip the spool, which is 2 plastic discs connected with a plastic mesh. You slip that over the sleeve. It fits snugly, but it can move around if you need to adjust its position. Now is the time to attach the yarn you're winding by bringing the yarn through the mesh and tying a little loose knot. Then you just press the trigger on the drill or screwdriver and the whole contraption starts to spin. The objective here is to make sure the yarn is winding onto the spool perpendicular or vertically straight up and down so that the yarn isn't going onto the spool at an angle. And you keep guiding the yarn onto the spool until it's all wound onto the spool. Then you end up with a nice spool of yarn that you can put into your project bag. You knit from the outside of the ball of yarn rather than the inside, so you don't have to worry about issues like yarn barf or the yarn ball collapsing once you've been knitting from it for a while. You don't have to manually wind the ball of yarn, so it saves your arm getting tired. And you don't need a ball winder. You will need to use a yarn swift or someone to hold the yarn for you though. Now the idea here is nothing new. People have been using electric drills and screwdrivers to wind bobbins for weaving and to wind balls of yarn for knitting for a long time. It's just that for winding balls of yarn, before the winderful, you would have to rig something up on your drill. But this gadget makes it a lot easier, safer, and aesthetically pleasing. The spool can be reused, and you can buy multiple spools if you want to wind more than one ball of yarn. As far as the cost, the spool is $17 and the adapter is $12, so for both together I paid $29 at Jimmy Bean's Wool. You can also buy a kit that contains 2 spools, 1 adapter rod, and a storage bag for $50. Now, is this something that every knitter needs? No. But I think for those people who really enjoy playing around with gadgets, or for someone who likes to try out new things, this would be a really fun gift that's not too expensive. So again, that is the Winderful yarn winding system. Okay, I'm going to talk about gift ideas number 6 and 7 concurrently because I think they would make a fantastic gift packaged together. So what I've got here is a collection of mesh laundry bags for delicates and a wool and cashmere shampoo set from the laundress. This is a gift I would love to get because you get 7 mesh laundry bags plus my favorite wool wash. Now let me make it clear that these laundry bags are a separate product from the laundress products. The mesh bags I got from Amazon and the wool wash I got from the laundress website. I thought this would be a really neat gift though, to put them together like a kit. So as far as the mesh bags, 5 of them are the flat type with safety zippers across the top. They're safety zippers because they're constructed so that what's inside the bag can't get snagged on the zipper. The inside is totally smooth, and on the outside there's a little fabric channel where the zipper hides when it's closed so it won't catch on anything. The smallest bag is 7 by 11 inches and the largest one is 23 inches square. It's pretty big. Plus you have these 2 small framed mesh bags. This one has a frame on both the top and the bottom. And this one just has a frame on the bottom. But you could use these mesh bags for laundering your knitwear that's made out of washable fibers like superwash wool, cotton, or synthetic yarns. The bigger bags you could use for things like shawls and sweaters, and the smaller bags you could use for socks, hats, and mittens. I thought this little pop-up one, which is supposed to be for, I think, bras, but I thought this would be great for even baby things like sweaters, booties, and little hats. Now this set of 7 laundry bags was only $9 on Amazon. And then I thought you could pair that up with this wool and cashmere shampoo set from the laundress. Everybody knows this is my favorite wool wash. I talk about it all the time. I'm not sponsored by the laundress. They have no idea who I am, but I have loved all their products that I've tried ever since this wool and cashmere shampoo performed the best at cleaning stains from wool in my test of different wool washes a couple of years ago. I've been using it and raving about it ever since. And I also use their stain remover and their regular laundry detergent and love them as well. Now you can get this set of wool and cashmere shampoo in a 16-ounce bottle along with this wool and cashmere spray, which is in a 4-ounce bottle, both for $27.50. Obviously, this wool and cashmere shampoo is for washing your hand knits made from natural fibers. It's lightly scented with cedar and smells fresh and clean. It's not heavy at all. The wool and cashmere spray is the same scent, and it's something you can spray on your wool sweaters and other hand knit items just to freshen them up in between washes. So they're both handy to have, and I thought it would be neat to package them up with the mesh laundry bags. Now, if you're close enough with somebody to give them laundry supplies as a gift, then I think this would be great. It's something that I would love. Okay, my next gift idea is a product I've had for a long time. They've been around for many years, and that is a yarn caddy, which is like a Lazy Susan for your yarn cakes. These are often made out of wood and consist of a simple post mounted in the middle of a disc that turns on a base. The rotary mechanism is very nice, with ball bearings making the rotation smooth. What you do is insert the post through the middle of your yarn cake, and this allows you to use the yarn from the outside of the cake, and the caddy turns easily as you pull on the yarn. Similar to the Winderful spool that I talked about earlier, this is a gadget that facilitates using the yarn from the outside of the yarn ball, so you don't get messes of yarn barf and you don't get yarn cakes that collapse once you've used some of the yarn. One nice thing about these yarn caddies is that they're often handmade, and you can find them in different types of wood and designs. The one I have is about 4.5 inches in diameter, and the post is about 4.5 inches tall. Mine is made of maple wood, but I've also seen them in walnut, oak, and cherry, and they cost around $35. So again, this would be an interesting and useful gift to give to a fiber friend. Alright, my 9th gift idea for fiber artists is the Yarnet. These came out a few years ago and were really a big thing for a while, but I haven't heard anything about them lately, so I thought I would mention it for a possible holiday gift. The Yarnet is a clear polycarbonate plastic globe with a rubber base that sits on a surface without sliding around much. And what you do with it is put your yarn ball inside the globe. The top half of the globe easily twists open. You insert your yarn ball, and then you place your working yarn through one of the holes around the side of the globe. So the globe acts as kind of a yarn bowl, but it's got a cover so the yarn won't fall out of it. Also, the working yarn goes through the notches on the side, which open up when you take off the cover, so your yarn ball isn't permanently stuck in there until you finish the project. It's a sturdy container that is small enough to put in probably a medium or large project bag. The Yarnet also comes with a carrying strap, so you can attach that and walk around with it while you're knitting. The globe detaches from the rubbery base, and you can actually store knitting notions in that space. So you put your stitch markers, tapestry needle, cable needle, or what have you into the base, and then attach it to the globe, and you've got everything you need for your project right there. In fact, when you take a break from knitting on your project, you can even store your needles by inserting them through the slots in the top of the globe. Now, I bought my Yarnet when they first came out, and there have been some improvements since then. For example, now you can get small rubber plugs for the holes on the sides, which keep the top in place, so it doesn't accidentally turn and open up. They also come in different colors now. You can get the base in different colors, and the globe itself comes in different colors and styles. I would say that the drawback to using the Yarnet is that the space is limited within the globe. Some of your bigger skeins of yarn are probably not going to fit when they're wound into a cake. I found that sock yarn will fit, and maybe DK weight yarn, but if you get up to worsted weight, it might be tight, and bulky weight yarn will probably not work in it. So keep that in mind. It looks like the Yarnet is not being sold anymore directly through the Yarnet website, but they're now doing all their sales mainly through local yarn shops, as well as through some online vendors like Amazon and QVC. So check your local yarn shop because they might have them in stock. Right now there are 4 different colors available on QVC for $36 each, and Amazon has 2 other colors in stock for $30 each. So again, the yarn knit is something a little different for somebody who doesn't already have one. Alright, and now we are up to the last gift idea on my list, and this is something I don't have here with me, but is definitely on my wish list, and that is a knitting clock. I've had my eye on this for months, but I just haven't gotten around to buying it yet. This is a handmade clock made out of 3/4 inch thick oak. It is 11 inches in diameter and is laser engraved with the words, "Who cares? You're on knitting time." And then all the numbers from the clock dial are piled up at the bottom. Now, even though the numbers are all on the bottom, the clock actually does keep time, so the hands point to the usual places where the numbers would be. It operates on a single AA battery, and it has a built-in slot on the back for hanging it on the wall. And this clock is available on Etsy. Like I said, these clocks are handmade, and it takes them about 3 to 4 days to do the laser etching on each order. So if you order right away, you might be able to get it by Christmas. But I will say that I've noticed that this shop closes for brief periods every so often to catch up with their orders. Last time I checked, they were open, but at any time they might close for a couple of days if they get a backlog of orders. Even so, I still wanted to include it in my holiday gift list because I really like this clock, and I hope you do too. Oh, and I don't think I said how much it costs. It is $47, but it's a very fun gift for yourself or for a good knitting friend. Okay guys, that's it. That brings us to the end of my list of ideas for knitting holiday gifts this year. I hope you got some good ideas to help with your shopping. As I said earlier, I'll link everything I talked about today in the description box below. I will also include a link to my holiday gift series from last year. Last year I did probably 4 or 5 holiday gift videos, and I have those videos in a playlist, and you can check them out if you haven't already seen them, because you might find some other ideas there. As always, leave your comments and questions below. I love hearing from you, and I'm trying to get caught up with my replies. I'm thinking about recording another video next weekend of some of my winter favorites and holiday gift ideas that aren't necessarily about knitting. So watch out for that if you're interested. I also wanted to say thank you to those of you who have sent me cards, postcards, holiday cards, and letters recently. I made some cards yesterday, and I will be sending them out to you. If you're interested in writing to me, you can always find my mailing address down below in the information box. Okay, so I'll see you next week, and in the meantime, stay smart and have a sparkly week.